Hello friends, once again I am Professor N. Jadhav. Welcome you all into the chemistry class. Friends, from previous 4 to 5 lectures, we are going to start a second topic of our syllabus, and this second topic is nothing but corrosion. Before this lecture, we are going to understand the different concepts in this topic, and these concepts are nothing but what is meant by corrosion. After that, the classification of corrosion on the different bases. On that basis, corrosion is divided into two different types. First one is atmospheric corrosion and second one is immersed corrosion. Now, after all this point, in our today's lecture, we are going to understand the very important concept regarding with or concerned with corrosion concept. So, the name of our today's concept is nothing but the concept of mechanism of electrochemical corrosion. Electrochemical corrosion. This concept is very important. Before going to start this concept, you must know that what is meant by corrosion, what is meant by electrochemical corrosion. And if you know all these things, then you are going to definitely understand the concept of electrochemical corrosion. This concept is also called as mechanism of hydrogen evolution. Hydrogen evolution means that this concept is very important as concerned to the mechanism of electrochemical corrosion and mechanism of hydrogen corrosion. So, before going to start this mechanism, we are going to understand some basic things regarding with this mechanism, and that things are nothing but we know that what is meant by electrochemical corrosion. In case of electrochemical corrosion, the different types of flows of electron will be involved. Flow of electron we observe, and this flow will be observed on the different part of electrodes, and that parts are nothing but both in case of anodic and in case of cathodic. Means that the electrochemical corrosion is nothing but the type of corrosion where we observe flow of electron on both electrodes. Means that in anode and in cathode. Means that these are the concept of mechanism, and this mechanism we will going to observe on the different parts of electrode, that is on the part of cathode and the part of anode. Means that both the parts are involved into the mechanism of hydrogen evolution. After that, we must know that one thing very important as compare or as understanding this concept. In case of anodic part, at anode, what happen? The dissolution of metal into metallic ions take place. At this anode, the dissolution of metal into metallic ion take place. At the same time, the liberation of iron will be take place. These things we are also represent by using the reaction, and that reaction is nothing but the liberation of electrons after the metallic formation. M is nothing but metal, and from this metal we get M and N number of electron plus evolution of electron. This electron will be observed and this is nothing but this one is oxidation reaction. Means that in case of electrochemical corrosion, we observe flow of electrons on both the part of electrodes, means cathodic as well and anodic, and in case of these concept, the ions will be liberated from the metals and that will be represented by these reaction. Now at cathode what happened? At the same time the evolution of hydrogen gas will be take place. At cathode evolution of hydrogen gas will be take place, and in this concept we are going to understand the mechanism how this hydrogen gas will be evolved by the electrochemical corrosion concept. म्हणजेच काय तर आपण या कन्सेप्ट मधून हायड्रोजन गॅस इव्हॉल्युशन कसं होतो, बाहेर कसा पडतो हे आज आपण बघणार आहे. So our today's topic of discussion is nothing but mechanism of evolution of hydrogen gas. हायड्रोजन गॅस बाहेर कसा पडतो याचं मेकॅनिझम आज आपण शिकणार आहे. So to understand this mechanism, we are going to consider one diagram, and that diagram will be useful for the understanding of mechanism. I am just going to consider one tank. This one is nothing but this is one tank, and in this tank involve some content that I am just going to represent. Suppose that this tank is steel tank. I am going to represent all these things one by one. This is nothing but steel tank. By using this experiment we are going to understand the concept of hydrogen evolution, and inside that we are going to consider such a object. Inside them again these lines represent all the parts will be solid form, and from this direction hydrogen gas will be evolved. Also here iron 2 plus and hydrogen gas will be observed. Here one reaction will be take place. Fe gives Fe2 plus 2 electrons. Now this one is nothing but this one is anodic part, and this anodic part is large. Now this one is nothing but steel tank. Inside this steel tank contain acidic water, and this water will be used as an electrolyte. Electrolyte word we will well understand into the chapter of electrochemistry. All these part is involved in the acidic solution that I am going to represent here. The acids. The acid is always present in liquid form, and this acid is used as an electrolyte in the mechanism of hydrogen evolution. Now just here we are going to nominate this diagram. Hydrogen evolution mechanism. Hydrogen evolution mechanism. Now, by using this diagram, we will well understand the concept of hydrogen evolution mechanism. Now, this is a type of mechanism observed when any metal exposed to the acidic environment. Means that this hydrogen evolution mechanism will be observed when only the metals are interact or comes in contact with acidic environment, and that acidic environment is nothing but, suppose that any kind of industrial waste material will be there, industrial waste or acid like HCl, hydrochloric acid, then we got or we observed such a kind of mechanism. Now look at the diagram. By using this diagram, we will well understand the concept of hydrogen evolution. Here, this is nothing but this is a steel tank. This steel tank containing acidic impurities or means industrial waste and acids, and some amount of copper scrap will be present. In this case, copper scrap become anodic. This is nothing but this is a copper scrap, and this copper scrap is an cathodic to steel tank. Means that this one is cathode and this one is anode. In present of acid, means that whatever the acid present on this steel tank, at that time we get concentration same. And by using of this knowledge, we are going to understand some chemical reactions. Some part of this steel tank is come in contact with copper, and at that time this part or from this region the oxidation reaction we will going to observe. Now this reaction we will going to represent like, after the observation of these phenomena, we observe the reactions like Fe gives, Fe is nothing but this is an iron, Fe gives Fe2 plus 2 electrons, and this is nothing but this is an oxidation reaction. This is an oxidation reaction. Here the electrons liberated flow through the metal from anode to cathode. Means that the liberation of electron will take place from A to C, means anode to cathode. Now the H plus ions are present in steel tanks, and these H plus ions are liberated, and these H plus ions are deposited on cathode. These H plus ions will be deposited on cathode, and that's why we observe one reaction, and that reaction is nothing but 2 H plus hydrogen ions plus 2 electrons. We are going to just balance these reactions in this form, and we get hydrogen. This is the sign of evolution, means that this hydrogen gas will be evolution observed on these reactions. In this type of corrosion, metals above the hydrogen, in case of electrochemical corrosion, this type of metal have a tendency to get dissolved in acidic solutions. Means that whatever the electrochemical series, we know that, and in that electrochemical series, whatever the elements present on upper side, this type of elements having the better tendency to dissolve in acidic solutions. And in this mechanism, We know that we are just considering on diagram. Anodic part is very large while the cathodic part is very small. So this is nothing but this is a simple mechanism of हायड्रोजन इव्होल्युशन. विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, या मेकॅनिझम मध्ये आपण थोडक्यात बघायला गेलं तर एक स्टील टँक आपण कन्सिडर केलेला आहे. त्या स्टील टँक मध्ये आपण काही इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट आणि किंवा हायड्रोक्लोरिक ऍसिड घेतलेले आणि त्याच हायड्रोक्लोरिक ऍसिडच्या कॉन्टॅक्ट मध्ये आपण त्या स्टील टँक मध्ये कॉपर स्क्रॅप घेतलेले. जो स्टील टँक आहे तो आपल्याला एनोडिक आणि कॉपर स्क्रॅप आहे तो कॅथोडिक झालेला पाहायला मिळतो. त्यावेळेस आपल्याला आयर्नचा जो स्टील टँक आहे त्याच्यामधून आपल्याला इलेक्ट्रॉन्स लिबरेट झालेले पाहायला मिळतात. ॲट द सेम टाइम आपल्याला हायड्रोजन गॅस त्याच्यामधून इव्हॉल्व झालेला बाहेर पडलेला दिसतोय. त्याच वेळेस आपल्याला ऑक्सिडेशन रिॲक्शन सुद्धा ऑब्झर्व झालेली पाहायला मिळते आणि या दोन्ही रिॲक्शन मधून आपल्याला फायनली हायड्रोजन गॅस बाहेर पडलेला दिसतो. मित्रांनो, या मेकॅनिझम मध्ये आपल्याला जसं आपण रिप्रेझेंट केलेलं होतं तसं एनोडिक पार्ट जो आहे म्हणजे स्टील टँक हा जो काही एनोडिक पार्ट आपण दाखवलेला होता तो ऑब्वियसली लार्ज फॉर्म मध्ये होता, तर राहिलेला जो पार्ट होता तो स्मॉल. म्हणजेच एनोड हा लार्ज मध्ये तर कॅथोड हा स्मॉल पार्ट मध्ये होता. दिस इज नथिंग बट दिस इज ऑल ओव्हर मेकॅनिझम ऑफ हायड्रोजन इव्होल्युशन. Very simple concept. Just we are going to consider steel tank, electrolyte. We are going to deep copper scrap. At that time, the reaction will be take place, and at that time, what happen? Evolution of hydrogen gas will be take place, and from iron we get liberation of iron electrons. That is Fe2 plus 2 electrons. So this is all about the hydrogen evolution mechanism.